Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm your host, PattSun, and today we're going to be taking a look at r/surviving infidelity, where an idiot husband gets infected with chlamydia. Oh boy, this is going to be a treat. Let's begin, shall we? I recently found out from a friend that her friend is having an affair. I don't know her or her husband, but I'm torn if I should attempt to reach out. Posted by Reddit user AirSense.
Background: one of my friends recently told me about her friend who's still technically married, but they are going through a divorce process. She told me all these details about it and my initial reaction was disgust, but I've never met this person or anyone she knows besides my friend. What I was told was that this girl was a good friend of my friend, but they aren't as close as they used to be due to the issues she was having at home. I asked because I was curious, and the story goes like this. She's been married for about 8 or 9-ish years and they have 2 kids. My friend is single and obviously would meet guys and whatnot, and met someone she thought her friend would click with. Not sure why. I think it's because my friend didn't like the husband for whatever reason. But long story short, the 2 click and it turns into an affair behind the husband's back. This goes on for a while until the husband finds out. But she tells him they never got physical, and the guy apparently leaves and the wife basically isolates herself from her friends. For the record, the wife and the guy were physical multiple times, but the husband doesn't know. Months pass and the wife starts talking to my friend again, only to tell her she slept with another guy, a neighbor behind her husband's back again, but it was a one-time thing. Husband again finds out and this time files for divorce. I know their divorce isn't finalized yet, but before the entire process even started, the wife started dating another guy. This turns into something more serious, which goes on for months while the wife and husband hash out the divorce proceedings. Last week my friend told me the wife now wants to make amends and doesn't want the divorce anymore and thinks she can get her husband back since he doesn't know any of the details, and thus she'll live happily ever after. Part of me is sick to my stomach, but the other part is telling myself to mind my own business, especially since I don't know these people and there are kids involved. But curiosity got the best of me and I reached out via Facebook to the original guy. After basically trying to ask me out on a date from our first conversation, I asked him to be truthful and basically what happened with him and the wife. He said she told him they were almost done with the divorce. So no harm, no foul, and was hurt when he found out she wasn't actually getting a divorce at the time, and basically, they just stopped talking. So I'm torn. I want to message the husband on Facebook with these messages confirming she was cheating on him the whole time, but I don't know him or her personally, so should I mind my own business? It's complicated and I know most people would just not get involved, but it's a really shitty thing to do and I feel like I should, or is ignorance bliss? I even know the most recent boyfriend's name and kind of want to let him know all these details. It's like a web of just chaos, but cheaters are scum, so I feel almost like it's my duty to tell these people the truth. Help.
Okay, so first you have terrible friends. Not only the cheating wife, but also the one that supported her cheating. Get yourself better friends, man. This is just a disaster brewing. And yeah, I agree, cheaters are scum. So I highly recommend sending the husband all of the information and proof that he needs to make a properly informed decision. And now for today's second story. I am going through a divorce with my soon-to-be ex-wife. She wants to cancel it and start over for the kids and promises she's changed. Then she told me she came back positive for chlamydia. And would you look at that, this is also posted by the same OP from the first story. Is it possible that the idiot husband from the first story is actually him? Well, let's find out.
As the title says, my wife and I have been going through the divorce process and she suddenly had a complete 180 change of heart. She came out and said she's done playing games, she hasn't talked to anyone in months and wants our family back. I honestly believed it too, like a fool in hindsight. The divorce was ruining us both financially and our children obviously don't know the details of what went wrong, but they've made hints that they want us to be back together. After a month or so of trying to find middle ground and going to couples counseling, I thought there might have been a chance. Maybe she actually means what she said. Maybe suck up my pride and give my kids the opportunity to have both of us, who they love unconditionally, a shot for them. Last week we had a great time together. It was like the same feeling when we first started dating and the chemistry was 100% back. Then she sent me a text. So, this guy I was with months ago texted me and said I should get tested for chlamydia. So I went to a walk-in clinic and they gave me my results within the hour and it's positive. I promise I wasn't with him since months ago, so it must have been dormant in my system. But you should go get checked too. Sensorbine! So red flags started going off in my head. First I was crushed, literally destroyed. Then I thought I'm not sure any clinic could get your results for that within an hour, but I could be wrong. I assumed all places will send out a urine sample and get the results within 24 to 48 hours, give or take. I asked her for any proof of the results, just to confirm, and she said it was a phone call and she will but can't right now for whatever reason. So, what I'm going to assume is, well, she's still with this guy, contracted it and then never told me about it. Was it dumb for me to sleep with her that night when everything seemed perfect? Absolutely, and I regret it wholeheartedly. But can someone tell me I'm not crazy, that something seems completely off with this story? She goes to a walk-in clinic and within an hour gets a call saying it's positive but can't provide proof from said place. Anytime I try to ask questions, she makes it about herself and how I'm going on a witch for details. She thinks it was dormant and she never knew. I went today to get tested myself, waiting for the results which should come tomorrow or the following day. And now I'm gutted, feeling like an idiot that I believed for a second she was genuine, and I was made a fool. Throughout this all, whenever I ask her anything about it, she turns it into me attacking her about it, and she promises it that it was from the past and never knew. I am an idiot, I know. But in my mind, there's so many things not adding up in her story, but she's making it seem like it was a little accident, and it's curable with simple antibiotics. And now for OP's update. So to be clear, when I asked her what clinic she went to, as I wanted to get quick results as well, she gave me just the address to one of the bigger hospitals' lab department in our area. I called them just to be sure they do walk-ins, and I was informed they don't and I would need a doctor's order for a test. I told her this and she said, well, I don't know, I just Googled it, so I'm not positive which one I went to. Just Google it and you'll find one. I ended up going to an immediate care center that was connected to the same medical group she supposedly went to. When I got there, they did the whole urine sample and swabbed my eye as well, as it was red and irritated. I asked if any of the places in this medical group's locations did rapid testing, and the nurse said, honey, I've been working here and other locations for 27 years. We don't have rapid testing, but there's some other clinics outside ours that might. So her story has some issues right there, but at this point I didn't really care. I just wanted to get it over with. Without waiting for the results, I was given antibiotics and an intramuscular shot just in case and sent on my way. I found out the next day I was positive, but since I was already given treatment at the clinic, nothing further was needed. Just disheartening that this happened to me and whatnot. I called her to tell her I was positive and they treated me there. She said, well, when I went, I was already on antibiotics for a sore throat, so my doctor told me I didn't need a new prescription and to continue on with what I was taking. Another red flag, as I know there are different treatments for various things, and the treatment for this would be different than, say, a treatment for another illness, especially something that was for ears or throat. A pharmacist friend of mine confirmed that there's typically only a couple treatments for chlamydia, and the one I was given is the current one that most clinics do, 4 tablets and a shot, and it clears it up. She couldn't tell me what clinic she went to, nor give me any additional information. I gave up asking at that point, as her story just didn't make sense. Not remembering what clinic you went to for an STD test. The place she told me she went to doesn't do rapid testing or walk-ins as she said they did, etc. We are living in separate households and it is now my week with the children. I took them out for a night at the carnival and she called me, asked what I was doing, and when I told her she replied, and you decided not to invite me. Enjoy your chlamydia, and then hung up. I guess at this point there's no chance at reconciliation, as others have pointed out. If I was the one to give her an STD, I would be bending over backwards to make things right, give her any information needed and be there to support her, and more so feel terrible guilt about it. She's done the opposite. So yes, I tested positive but was treated. It's a lesson learned. Not sure how to decipher her actions, as this whole situation is a strange one, but things just don't add up. And she said regarding her ex that he's had me blocked for months but unblocked me to tell me about the STD. That's why I was in contact with him and found out. Any advice would be appreciated, as even though it sucks, I don't know if there's any point to try now. I feel like I'll never know the truth, whether she's still with him or not. But I suppose I'll just continue on with the divorce and then get retested again in a few weeks just to be sure. Thanks to everyone on the previous post for the words of encouragement, as it was greatly appreciated. Thank you guys.
Well, at least in my opinion, everything checks out. OP, you're full of shit. I'm surprised no one called you out on your first post. But anyways, let's assume that this bullshit story of yours is actually real. Look man, you need to tell anyone and everyone what exactly happened to you, because I'm 100% sure that she will tell a lie that you were the one who gave her an STD, and that you were the one that was cheating. Continue with the divorce. Implement Grey Rock and do the 180. Keep your conversations with her strictly about the kids and the kids only. What she has been doing to you is absolutely disgusting, and her actions shows that she hasn't changed and isn't remorseful for anything she has done. Viewer support is the best way for me to remain independent and continue bringing you these daily videos, which will always be here on my channels for you to watch absolutely free. So please consider subscribing to me on Rumble and on YouTube. Both will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for listening everyone. If you even somewhat enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and if you really like it, consider subscribing to PattSun to never miss a future upload. Stay strong.